Shi Baoju, who is 84 years old this year, is a legendary figure in his hometown and the neighbouring communities. People call him leader of the fishermen. Not everybody can receive such a title. Only someone who has mastered the skill of winter fishing can be given this title. It is know-how passed down from almost 1,000 years ago. Now he is old, Shi Baoju can no longer fish. Yet he still pays close attention to the slightest changes in the weather at this time of year. It has become part of his life to unconsciously ponder on the activities of the fish under the ice. The large lake in front of Shi Baoju is the biggest freshwater lake in the area and is called Chagan Lake. This name means White Lake in the Mongolian language. It is located between 40 and 45 degrees north in China's Jilin Province. Here, ice and snow dominate. But behind the hidden danger is splendid scenery, against the backdrop of the vicissitudes of nature. Chagan Lake is like a diamond on the circumference ring of the Earth. Hundreds of millions of years ago, there was much geological activity here. Covering a vast area of 420 square kilometers, Chagan Lake has cultivated the most unique group of fishermen in the world and also made Jilin better known around the globe. Zhang Wen has inherited Shi Baoju's fishing skills and has become part of a new generation of leaders of fishermen after 18 years of long-term study and self-discipline. It is less than 1 month before winter fishing activities kick off. Now's the time for the leader to assess the fishing conditions with his apprentices. Standing at the center of the iced lake, ordinary people could not orient themselves. Zhang, however, is able to detect the shoulder fish gathered under 1 meter thick ice. Every year, winter fishing is a thrilling campaign in the eyes of Zhang. He holds a Guinness World Record title for winter fishing. In 2009, he captured an astonishing 168,000 kilograms of fish in one net. In the past few years, he has been pursuing his goal of breaking that record. Xiao Ma, who is Zhang's apprentice, is the first deputy leader born in the 1980s. He wants to help his master break the fishing record. Xiao Ma's mother is preparing to cook steamed buns with a glutinous sweet bean paste filling, which is an age-old local tradition in winter. The winter fishing will soon begin, and she needs to prepare an adequate amount of food for her son to take to the ice lake. Steamed buns contain an abundance of calories and help keep hunger at bay. Therefore, all nationalities living in the northeast have gradually developed the custom of making steamed sweet buns. In his spare time, Xiao Ma likes watching the fish in the water in an attempt to understand the acquired habits and characteristics of these creatures, which are both his friends and foes. To be a fishing leader, one needs to have great integrity in addition to excellent skills. Most importantly, a leader must understand the nature of fish in order to know where to catch them.
自从我打鱼以来，已经打8年了。 各个工种都干过，感觉当把头不是那么一件容易的事儿，胜任正把头还欠缺约活。经过跟那个正把头的交流，自个儿感觉对鱼的习性不够了解。
Fishing is an old skill passed down from the Liao and Jin dynasties. According to historical records, a Liao emperor would patrol the borderland in each season, known as Na Bo. Every spring, the emperor would patrol Chagan Lake, exchange views with the locals, and hold a grand banquet with all the tribal chiefs and foreign envoys. He would order people to catch fish in Chagan Lake and cook a scrumptious meal for the guests. At that time, the fish in the lake grew slowly due to the cold water, so the meat was sturdy yet with a tender fragrance. Now it has become an indispensable dish. Na Bo disappeared with the change of dynasties, but the fishing traditions have been passed down. In this old craft, a warm outfit is as important as the skill of fishing itself. Shalmar's father was once a fisherman. As the winter fishing season draws near, he's making a leather hat for his son to protect against the severe cold. Although he is quite a rough-looking fisherman, he is excellent at needlework, with each compact stitch filled with a father's warmth. The clothes will help his son to resist the wind and keep out the cold. Without a reliable outfit, the howling north wind will enter the body with the sharpness of a thick knife. Jiang is planning a safe route across the surface of the ice. As the time for winter fishing draws near, Jiang visits the lake more frequently. Based on his knowledge of the underwater topography and observations of the ice cover, he guides the fishermen in making security marks. Jiang has been very familiar with the fish in Chagan Lake since childhood. He has trod every corner of this vast lake. He and his friends spent much of their childhood sleigh riding. He has since grown to become the fishing leader of this tribe and makes a living out of fishing and hunting. The sleigh has become a chariot for him and his brothers. It carries them forward in victory and will hopefully help them to set a new record and reap a bumper harvest. Shalmar understands his master's thoughts. He knows very well what a durable fishing net means for a winter fishing harvest. Shalmar conscientiously arranges the rope, alternating between compactness and sparseness, so the fishing net can stick to the surface of the ice. At the same time, he must consider the optimal quantity of the bottom rein, which enables the fishing net to sink to the lake bed. Only then can he guarantee nothing has been overlooked. Filling the fishing net is a job requiring careful consideration, and the installation of each top and bottom rein are important links. Equally important is the work involved in mending the net, because even a tiny hole may allow the fish to escape. Filling and mending the fishing net is also known as a full stomach, implying the fisherman's hopes for a bumper harvest. At Chagan Lake, there is an unwritten rule that the fishing nets used in winter should have a mesh of 5 inches, which can only catch big fish over 10 years old or more. Drain the pond to get all the fish is an absolute taboo for nationalities living on fishing and hunting. Plant pears for your heirs. They want to reserve the wealth for Chagan Lake and their descendants. The winter fishing gets underway once all the preparations are complete. Mr. Shi, the former fishing leader, shows off the outfit he once wore with exceptional caution. The outfit is like an old friend that has accompanied him for many years. He feels deep affection each time he wears it. Apart from examining the fishing net, Shalmar prepares each piece of fishing gear in a reliable way. He burnishes the ice pick to be sharp enough to break a thick layer of ice, then trusses up several pinewood poles in a sturdy fashion to make a catch bar, convenient for casting the net under the water. He nails on horseshoes to allow for better traction on the ice. The horseshoes are made of anti-skidding material. This fishing gear is essential for this old tribe, and only when everything is in order will they feel assured.
做这些准备工作就是帮我师傅破他的世界纪录。
Winter fishing represents man's strength and wisdom. Regarding women, they prepare hearty meals for men as a sign of virtue. It is a traditional Chinese custom to make dumplings for men who head out for work, as a wish for their safety and to bring them good luck. This was the last time that Jiang Wen set his feet on the iced lake before the start of winter fishing. It was of essential importance if the fishing were to be successful. It required him to determine the position of the shoals depending on his alert eyes and ears. It is very difficult to get acquainted with the profound proficiency of a fishing leader, even as a fisherman working every year. Undoubtedly, locating the shoals determines where the fishermen gain a generous payout for all their preparation. "4 or 5 a.m., when dawn breaks, is the coldest period of the day and is known by the locals as freezing enough even for a ghost. At this moment, the team sets off. Jiang's fishing team gathers. In the dim light, they head for the center part of the iced lake. What awaits them there is the most challenging task of the winter. It is an age-old custom to get up at dawn and head to the lake. A large net with an area of 2,000 meters will be unfolded during the course of the fishing. This can be time-consuming. If they set out at daybreak, they might not draw the net back before sunset. The follow-up work, such as sorting and storing the fish, would be postponed. Before casting the net, Jiang observes the water flow under the layer of ice once more. He marks the casting position with flags in the direction of the water flow, making sure the fish will be caught by the net. At this moment, the man responsible for drilling holes uses a 30-kilogram ice pick to dig into the surface of the ice. A hole 1 meter in width and 2 meters in length is dug to cast the net. Meanwhile, Zhang commands the other men to plant flags in 4 spots around the hole to help with the direction the net is cast in and better position its draw back, which is called defining the range. The hole range is a rectangle. After planning the route to drill and defining the fishing area, Zhang determines the position for the net to be cast, and then begins the first major step, drilling a hole in the ice. Digging the ice with an ice pick is quite a scene. Shal Ma, together with 16 fishermen, work on both sides of the position to cast the net and drill a hole every 17 meters. His job is to guarantee that the distance between the holes is shorter than the length of the catch bar. They will drill more than 300 holes along the way leading to the position for the net to be drawn back. Digging holes in the ice layer requires plenty of physical strength, and the whole affair lasts more than 4 hours. Working long hours in a temperature of minus 30 degrees Celsius is routine for these fishermen. They follow every command of the fishing leader. This is a fishing team consisting of more than 50 people, with each one performing a specific duty. Like a huge machine operating in good order, they work through cooperation. When they drill holes into the ice, those responsible for casting the net begin to set up. 2 catch bars of 20 meters in length, pulling the large net, are slowly put into place from the opening to cast the net. And it advances forward, carrying the net under the ice layer. The 2 catch bars are set to act as one. The whole fishing net slowly unfolds under the layer of ice. At this moment, the workers control the catch bars with hooks and lances through small openings in the ice to make sure they maintain their relative positions. The net moves forward according to the route. As the net slowly enters the water, its weight plus the resistance of the water flow is too heavy to be dragged. This is the moment when the big equipment is brought into play. The horse's wheel is required. Several horses pull the capstan and continue to drive the large net forward. The net under the ice seems to be steady and quietly unfolds, but there is always danger present because weeds and silt on the lake bed can hinder the movement of the large net.
如果说咱们给网下去了，发现有障碍物了，或者是咱这个网有毛病了，或者是折了，往前也走不了了，没办法就得往后退，咱们把这网再退回来。
Winter fishing in Chagan Lake is a unique bout between mankind and nature. The wisdom of the fishing and hunting tribes through the ages has been accumulated through battles with nature. From the simplest fishing through holes dug in the ice layer to large-scale collective fishing, they have refused modern machinery to keep the lake water from becoming polluted. Each improvement in tools and the skills of each generation to solve difficulties comes from refining the most primitive fishing methods and bringing a more abundant harvest. The local people follow an old sacrificial ceremony. A shaman calls for help from the gods by gathering the essence and strength of heaven and nature. He prays to heaven to bestow upon the fishermen the power to win the fight against nature by creating another legend. People come from all parts of the country, hoping to see a legend take place in the lands of northeast China. The boisterous dance and mysterious ceremonies play up the passion of these fishermen and also reflect their aspiration for a bumper harvest. As the descendants of fishing and hunting tribes, they harbour a soft spot for nature. Shi Baozhu, the most senior fishing leader, understands very well the dependent relationship between fishermen and the lake. Jiang, the new fishing leader, is both anxious and excited at this moment because next his team must capture the booty in this war. What will the harvest be like this year? For the time being, Xiaoma's wife is busy preparing today's supper. Like other women living beside Chagan Lake, she waits for the heroes to return in triumph along with their catch, which will be used to prepare that night's meal. The men on the ice surface begin to draw back the net. The two catch bars appear from the mouth of the net, meaning the large net has already finished capturing fish. The position where the net will be drawn back to has become the happiest and most fascinating spot on the ice. Xiaoma is the busiest person at this moment because he has to supervise and coordinate the net's withdrawal. The fishermen need to fasten the large braided rope to the net and the peavey, and then hang it on the capstan. After that, they return to their positions to draw the net back, and then repeat the procedure. As the fishing net slowly emerges from the ice, shoals of big silvery fish roll out of the ice hole, falling over one another. The scene brings joy to the fishermen's faces. The whole course of drawing back the net lasts more than 4 hours. But no one's complaining, because the slower the speed when drawing back the net, the more fish the net contains. These moments are filled with the high hopes of the fishermen, as well as their sense of accomplishment. Once the net is fully drawn, the fish are put up for auction. Impatient crowds cluster around the platform in the hope of buying the first catch from Chagan Lake. The first catch of the season is believed to bring good luck in the coming year. Xiaoma has little time to care about the auction. He's more concerned about whether the harvest this year broke the record held by his master. But the size of the mesh nowadays is much bigger than before, so it's more difficult to break the 168,000 kilogram record of fish caught in a single net. This also reminds the fishermen to treat the lake kindly, because their livelihoods depend on it. Treating the lake with respect means more wealth in the future and the chance to set more records.
虽然今年呢没破这个记录，但是呢，我们工作已经全部到位，把这个记录呢，留给到下一代，留到小马头身上，所以说能比今年这个记录还要高一些。
The fish are cooked. For Xiaomar, the first day of winter fishing is satisfactory. At this moment, all the families beside Chagan Lake are sitting around the table, enjoying their scrumptious meal and chatting. This is a gratification that only belongs to fishing and hunting tribes. The love for fish has already permeated every aspect of this old tribe. They not only have a superb fishing craft, but also their exclusive know-how in cooking fish. The Chagan Lake Fish Feast boasts a unique taste based on traditional cooking methods. The table is covered with more than 100 kinds of dishes, adding a richness to the ordinary life of this old tribe. The vast, ice-crusted Chagan Lake and the skills of winter fishing passed down over more than 1,000 years illustrate a confrontation and dependency between humans and nature. This fishing and hunting tribe is unique in the world. It has preserved the wisdom and culture of humanity's long story in fishing. Carries the spiritual energy of mankind in developing and protecting nature. The big lake located in Jilin has cultivated a special lifestyle and ignites the resolute personality of fighting the snow and wind. As an example of intangible cultural heritage in China, Chagan Lake has preserved its great antiquity and inherited wisdom. All this infuses a fiery humanistic power into the grimness of this snow-covered land.